Well, we're back again, doing it live again. I missed last week, wasn't here. However, I was on vacation. Now, I was going to try to do a live stream before I left, but life, it gets in the way. It can get in the way. Anyway, if y'all never been to Eugene, Oregon, I highly recommend it. It's my second trip out there. Good times. Got good family out there. The place is beautiful. The weather is always awesome. I know it rains a lot. I got lucky when I went out there. Didn't rain at all, which is kind of odd for March, but it's a good time. Great weather. I would rather go in the summer to get out of the damn Texas heat. But sometimes you got to go with the schedule that you're given. Anyway, doing it live. And as the ticker says, I have memberships available, a limited amount. Jump on it now. A few people have. We got some future videos. For one, I'm going to make highly speculative video, even more so than my normal. What if the Big 12 and the Big East join forces? What do I mean by that? I don't know. You're going to have to watch the damn video. It's going to start as a members only video. I will make it public eventually. But for those folks paying the freight, they're going to get the first gander at it. And I got some other videos outside of that lined up. Not sure which ones I'm going to do or make members only videos, but we'll get there. So let's see who's already in here. Buckshot Kid. Long time no see. What's up, dude? Appreciate you being here, sir. John Dry. Hey, y'all. I just left the Miami podcast. Nice. Didn't know they had one over there. Rock and Rant. Rock and Rant. He does good stuff. The College Football Express. I'll probably have to watch that show after. Wasn't aware he was doing a live stream. I was preparing for mine. Yes, sir. I did have a great vacation. Had a good time. Actually, we did something kind of cool out there. My niece and her husband rented out a theater. Now, this is a small locally owned theater over there in Oregon, downtown Oregon, or downtown Eugene in Oregon. And now the ones you rent out, they're kind of small. There's like maybe a dozen seats in there, something like that. But it's still really cool vibe. We saw Doctor Sleep. I've never seen it. It's the part 2 to The Shining. And I have to say, it's one of the absolute best sequels I've ever seen. It really is. Screw off with Godfather Part 2. Doctor Sleep's better. Godfather Part 2 is pretty good too. Overrated. It's overrated. Godfather Part 1 is clearly the best. John Dry. Big 12 is greater than the ACC. Well, I think so. It'll definitely survive longer. It's going to survive a lot longer. Kenny Evans, Mr. Member, thank you for being a member. Will teams get back to real spring games? Probably not. They're going to attempt to, but probably not. Let's keep that real. All right. Now, maybe y'all haven't seen my last video. it dealt with that college football guy. He's got a nice little channel over there, a little over 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully, me talking about him, not like I'm some juggernaut of a freaking channel, but hopefully, he can pick up a couple more. I also have a micro channel, a little over 2,000. It's not like a big difference there, but he's a truck driver. He speaks with his chest out. It's a good way to do it. That's the way I do it. I respect it. He called me out on a video, so I had to make a response video. Now, his little call out wasn't that long. It was just a few things, but I went ahead and broke down his whole video, and then I argued with what I needed to argue with. That's how I do it. You never look. If you get slapped in the face, you punch him back. All right? If you get kicked in the stomach, you stab them. If they stab you, you shoot them. If they shoot you, you throw them a grenade. If they hit you with a grenade, drop a nuke. I'm not for equal response. I'm for over responding. That's how I do it. So if anyone watches me that has their own channel and they want to call me out, and if I see it, you're going to hear from me. It's just, I'm an a-hole. That's what I do. And I got no hate for that college football guy. Like, I was watching his content when I saw that. I was on vacation. I was like, damn. I'm like, whatever it is, 1,600 miles away from my damn studio. Some bitch. I call it a studio. It's an empty room in the house. I put some lighting and some shelves up and threw some crap on them. Not not exactly professional here. But I guess I could have just did a little quick stream on my phone, but I wanted to give it some attention. So just wanted to explain that, a little more explainer, plus give the guy a little more love. Good, Buckshot Kid. What I want to know, Buckshot Kid, whose logic is better? Because I'm hoping you went and saw his video too. All right, it's got the same title. That college football guy with that same title. I hope everybody goes and sees both videos and just let him know whose logic makes more sense. Who's got more fact-based logic? Kenny Evans, do you see Big Ten, SEC poaching each other? If so, which teams? See, that's an interesting thing. I have been speculating for a while, probably for the last, since Texas and Oklahoma joined the SEC, since that was announced. And this isn't speculating, but it's me wondering, me being curious, how does A&M really feel about that? I don't think they feel good. They left one conference to get the hell away from those two, especially Texas. Are they really happy with how all that went down in the SEC? Now, they were the last to know that this shit was going down. Yeah, see, here's the thing about A&M. They have options. Like you said, Big Ten. I never really put that into my realm of realignment talk, because right now it's just kind of fan fiction. It's just kind of fun to talk about. It's poking the SEC bear a little bit. That's all. But it's grounded in some reality. Now, A&M would make a little bit more money in the Big Ten, just a little bit more money. However, with the travel costs going up, it's kind of nil and void. It's kind of, so it, how should I put this? It's kind of a lateral move, but it's a move that's available and would be available. The Big Ten would jump in a second to get into the state of Texas, even though it's not the flagship. It's a secondary school, but a huge secondary school. Like the SEC took them well before Texas. So it's a possibility. Is anyone in the Big Ten going to jump to the SEC? No. I can't see anybody wanting to jump. I don't know if anyone's in the proper footprint where the SEC would want to expand into. That's another problem. I'm sure if Michigan was closer to the SEC, they may think about it. They may have thought about it. USC may have thought about it. But I don't see the SEC ever expanding that far north or west. Theoretically, they could. But again, it's just not it's not. I think A&M is the only team out there that you can say, whoa, as far as a big brand going to another big conference. I think that's the only one that's actually worth talking about. Buckshot Kid, oh, stop, you're not an a-hole. Oh, yeah, I can be. Yeah, I can be. You're getting the nice version of me. Okay, you're getting the nice version of me. John Dry, I only am on Hitchinson County podcast in the Panhandle being interviewed for what they say conspiracy theories. But it's the Christian truth. So they don't want me being hanged for my beliefs. Hutchinson County podcast in the Panhandle. Well, I don't know what your conspiracy theories are there, John. Let's see here. The Noahide laws are in effect in Texas. If you say Jesus is king, you're a target. I see signs that say that. What is a Noahide? The Noahide law. What is that, John Dry? I don't even know. I don't see SEC going after UNC or Virginia. Me either. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why expand the footprint with two schools that don't give you any football? Which is it's the biggest revenue driver. That's why all the realignments happened. That's why the consolidation is happening. It's not because of basketball, men's or women's. It's not because of Olympic sports. It's not because of academics. Football. Real. Freaking easy to follow the money. It's really easy. Follow the money. West Virginia played both in Charlotte, and West Virginia fans blew them out. Good. What you said about non-AAU schools will join the Big Ten is right. They will be added. Well, I appreciate you, Buckshot Kid. Because look, there's no doubt AAU is a big deal with the Big Ten, apparently, because everybody is save one school. So out of 18 schools, one isn't. And they were when they joined. And they're trying to get it back. We're going to get that AAU back. So it's important. I get that. And I don't know why it's hard for people to grasp this, but you have 3 media partners right now. They wish they had bigger matchups, what I call premium matchups. That's when you have your top brand team versus another top brand team. Because look, when Ohio State plays the Little Sisters of the Poor, it's still going to draw a good number because Ohio State always draws a good number. However, When they play Michigan, it looks like an NFL number, which is drastically higher than college numbers. So when they play Michigan, it's a big freaking deal. When they play Penn State, it's a big freaking deal. When they play USC, when they play Oregon, it's a big freaking deal. Now that Indiana is a champ, it's kind of a big freaking deal when they play Indiana. That number has more value now. But wait, when the Big Ten expands again, is it a big deal if they play Virginia? It's not. Virginia will get smoked, electrocuted, destroyed. Just will. So, or UNC, let's just use UNC for an example. And you could do that with any big brand in the Big Two conferences. But when UNC plays one of them, when they play Alabama or Ohio State or Texas or Georgia or Michigan, USC, all the usual suspects, when they play those guys, you're not getting the full value. You're getting great value from the big brand, but you're not getting equal or at least around about value from UNC in their side. That's why I say you might as well add Wake Forest. You might as well. If you're the SEC, you got pro rata, right? You might as well take Wake Forest. You'll beat them every year, and they won't matter at all. Their ratings will go up a little bit, and they'll bring nothing to the conference. That's UNC. Except UNC they can bring blue blood status in basketball. You could have another blue blood in basketball. Although UNC's been underperforming in basketball for a little bit of a while now. Let's talk about getting a new coach and all that shit. So, I don't. Kuz's Corner, what is up, bro? Say no to women's flag football, at least until they increase revenue everywhere else. I'm going to get to that. I got only a handful of comments I'm going to get to real quick, Kuz, and I'm going to get on that flag football thing. Mr. K. I can never say that word worth a damn. Your name. It's a cool name, cool looking name. I'm just bad pronouncing shit. Noah Hyde Noah Hyde or Noah Hyde. I don't know. Law are those God gave to all humans to abide. The 10 Commandments were only given to the Jews, but for some reason most Christians think they apply to them too. Well, that's because Jesus Christ himself said that God's law still applies, which is interpreted to be the 10 Commandments. That he didn't wipe out the 10 Commandments. He said, "Oh, okay. Well, Christ is here, so now you can kill everybody. Now you can lie your ass off. Now you can cheat on your wife. Now you can worship other gods." No, it's not. Christ, he emboldened, or he helped revalidate. Maybe that's right. Revalidate the 10 Commandments. No, a high law or the God. I don't know. Still, I've never heard of that. I mean, I guess they're not actually paper laws, but okay. I don't know. I got to do some research on that. Mr. K. Where was that? Senator Cruz also said, I don't. John Dry, we're going to get along great. We do get along great. Me and that little bastard, pissant Ted Cruz, can eat my ass. Why don't they primary that guy? I don't want some loathsome Democrat in his position. But damn. Can we get somebody who's not a smarmy little bastard That's can't stand the guy. I mean, of course I was going to vote for Cruz over Beto. Beto, some white boy calling himself Roberto. Are you kidding me? I'm half Hispanic. He's 0.000%. Oh, but it's okay for him to do that. It's okay for him to do that. Oh, but because Democrats seem to do that crap all the time. Pocahontas, as Trump calls that one old lady, senator from wherever the hell. She's like the whitest looking old maid ever. Got into college because she's part whatever Indian. Bullshit. If you believe in Jesus, they consider him an idol. Now, I was once part of a church that became Reformed Baptist. All right. So they took down all the crosses. That's idol worship. Took down all the crosses, and Jesus can't be an idol if he's the literal freaking God. That's not idol worship. It's God. That's who Jesus is. Part of the Holy Trinity, the Godhead, Son, Father, Holy Spirit. 3 in 1. Meaning Jesus is Lord. Jesus is God, who's always existed and created everything. That's Jesus. He's not a golden calf. He's the actual real God. You can't idol worship an actual God, the only God. That's retarded, John Dry. I'm not saying you said that, but that explanation is ridiculous to me. John Dry, the Jews are actually Europeans nowadays are fake Jews. They aren't dark complected is what I'm thinking about. I wouldn't say fake Jews, John Dry. The history of them, they were ran out of Israel by the Roman Empire. The Romans just finally got tired of them. Said, nah, we're tired of your shit. And to the wind, scattered them to the wind. And then they renamed the area Palestine. That was the Romans. That's where that name came from. They named it Palestine to mock the Jews. Okay? Just a little history there. But anyway, they kind of went out, they kind of got spread out everywhere. And Europe, Russia, all over the place. And got kicked out of a few more places. They kept getting kicked out or, put into certain camps. A lot of bad crap happened to them before they finally got to go back to their home country, which then other people were in. And then thus we have current history. But I don't know if I would call them fake Jews. I mean, because those initial Jews would go to other places. It's not all intermarrying. They started marrying other people, I'm pretty sure, over the centuries, because it's been centuries. So I don't know. John Dry, they live in the Old Testament today. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. But I've been promising. But I got to start with one topic, and it'll flow into the next topic. It's a nice trickle. Nice little trickle. We're going to start with Cody Campbell. This freaking idiot. He's an idiot. I don't know why. I don't know why he keeps talking. You got you want to throw tens of millions of dollars at Texas Tech. Cool. Okay. That's fine. That's your team. Yeah. All right. You're all about the Super League. I understand it. I don't agree with the Super League. I don't want to see a Super League. 70 all the Power Four coalesced, and I don't want to see it. I don't like it. But he's got every right to try to make that happen if that's what he wants to do. If he thinks it helps his team. But the problem I'm having is he doesn't seem to give two shits about the Big 12, which now that makes all the Super League stuff make more sense. He doesn't really give a shit about this conference at all. The only thing he cares about is Texas Tech. Okay, well, I guess that's your right. But that means I just don't have a lot of time for you. Texas Tech people can love him all they want. And there's a lot of Texas Tech fans out there that are also Big 12 fans. They like being in this conference. I'm a Big 12 fan. A big homer of the Big 12. So when I see Cody Campbell bitching about Brett Yormark signing a media rights deal that he needed to sign, he needed to get in front of the pack in order to survive, but had to also agree to play Friday night games to give that extra value to the media partners. He has a problem with that. That's because he's an idiot. It's a sacred thing. It's a sacred thing. It ain't church, dumbass. DVR the Big 12 game. Oh, but wait. Here's why he's pissed. Because Texas Tech has got to play Houston on a Friday night. Everybody in the Big 12 is going to play on a Friday night. Why are you special? The Friday night thing is not going anywhere. That genie's out of the bottle. The toothpaste is out of the tube. These aren't going back into their containers. It's done. Let's say Texas Tech gets into the Big Ten in the coming years. The Big Ten play Friday night games. Guess who's going to be playing a Friday night game, bitch nuts? Texas Tech. Because Ohio State, they can play whenever they want. Michigan, pretty much this Penn State. Oh, they can choose whether or not they're going to play a prime time game in the winter. And if they say no, then it's a big fat freaking no. Those big brands get their way a lot in the Big Ten. And guess what? You ain't Ohio State. You ain't Michigan. You're not Penn State. You're not USC. You ain't even Oregon, bitch. You're Texas Tech. And there's nothing wrong with being Texas Tech. It's a great brand. But if you go to the Big Ten, you ain't got shit for power. You ain't got nothing. They need a sacrificial lamb for a Friday night game. Boom, you're it. You're it. Have fun with Rutgers and Maryland and Purdue or Northwestern or Minnesota, the mighty, mighty Minnesota Golden Gophers on a Friday night. It'll be you. Oh, but wait, maybe we can get into the SEC. Same shit. Hey, we get to play Missouri again, probably on a Friday night. Arkansas, Friday. Texas Tech versus Kentucky, Friday. And if Cody Campbell gets his wet dream of some kind of Project Rudy Super League kind of thing, guess what? There's going to be Friday night games, and guess what? Tech will be playing on Friday nights. Not every week, but you're going to be on the list. You're going to be on the list of teams that are going to be available for Friday night. Are you going to bitch then? Are you going to have the same volume? Are you going to have the same energy for when that shit goes down in your Super League, playing on a Friday freaking night against Boston College. The thing is, we agreed to the Friday night thing because the Big 12, we don't have the big, massive freaking brands. We don't have their ratings. We don't have the corporate sponsorships that we can make a shit ton of money on, like those other two conferences can, with those big, gigantic freaking brands. We don't have all that. So you got to get creative. You got to think outside the box. Friday night was there. Oh no, Friday Night Lights. Go watch the high school football game. DVR the Big 12 game if you want to watch it. It's real simple. The technology's been there for a very, very long time. So yeah, the Big 12. I know Cody Campbell doesn't give one Randy shit about the Big 12, but I do. So things like Friday, playing on a Friday night, is necessary. And to answer Coos about the flag football thing, this is it's not just the Big 12 acting willy-nilly. This is in partnership with the NFL. Now, is the NFL going to throw a little money at the Big 12 to get some of this stuff started? That would be nice. That would be nice. They could help that along. You know, and Greg Flugar had an interesting question. You know, is there 6 schools that would introduce women's flag football? Because look, if it's true, you got 32 states roundabout that high school on the high school level are playing women's or girls flag football. If the NFL is sniffing around it, then there's an opportunity. Not to mention it's about to be in the Olympics in 2028. So the exposure is there. Mr. Flugar is right about that. The exposure, the potential for exposure is there. This will not make any money. This is going to cost money. If you can, if the NFL, because I don't know what this partnership means. Partnership? What the NFL going to offer to buy like towels and tampons? Or are they actually going to put in some meaningful money to get this thing kickstarted on that level? Because maybe they see it as like a WNBA kind of thing that can actually be more profitable down the road and something they would subsidize for a while. That could be kind of smart. Because look, a women's flag football team, what is that going to cost a college? I mean, you already have the stadium. All right, you have to buy some uniforms, but you don't have to buy the pads. You don't have to buy helmets. You already got the footballs. Maybe buy some smaller footballs. Don't be stupid like women's college or the WNBA. Let's use the regular basketball when we got tiny woman hands. So maybe you have to buy some smaller footballs just for the smaller hands. But that's about it. You don't even need helmets. Flag football. You got to buy some flags. I think it could work. I think in the long run, it could work. And Flugar asked, you know, and but what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to lose my train of thought. But the Big 12 has got to get creative on making money. This is to me a small investment. You're talking to start this thing up, 6 schools. They got to do it. Why not? Why not? It ain't going to cost a ton. Oh, you might have to have a few more scholarships for these ladies. So what? Some refs? Well, you have Big 12 refs already that you're paying. I think they're part-time or something. You probably get a lot of those guys back to do the flag football deal. See, it's not hard. It's not going to cost a shit ton. Is the Big 12 studios, are they the ones going to produce all these games? Probably. But like I said, if the NFL is really interested and it's really going to be a partnership, then the only way that makes sense is if they're actually going to put a little money into it. So that could be the answer to Kuz's question as far as where the money's coming from. Could be coming from the NFL. And, if 10, 15, 20 years down the road, women's flag football is, I'm not saying super huge, but let's say one day it gets on par with maybe women's college basketball, which is pretty big and growing. But let's say it gets somewhere in that territory. That's not a bad investment. It's not a bad investment. I'm not saying it's going to be the men's college basketball, but it could be a sound investment for the future. So why not give it a go? Why not give it a shot? If the NFL is thinking that much of it, the Big 12 need to go along with that. So there you go. Cody Campbell can throw some money on a flag football team for Texas Tech and shut his stupid ass mouth. Let's get to some comments. All right. I think I'm all out of Jew talk, though, John Dry. I just want to... Got no issue talking about the Jewish people, their traditions. I got no hate for those folks. My Lord and Savior was Jewish. So, but, there's some hot topics there. Kenny Evans, when negotiation comes with big sponsors or sponsor, will be on the table. What big sponsor or sponsors will be on the table? How much do you see teams making? I'm not sure if you're talking about just on a team level or a conference level. Because there's always the jersey patch thing, which I think a lot of teams are going to start doing that. And there's some good money to be made in that. I did a whole video breaking that down. It is a members only video there, Kenny Evans. So you kind of know where I stand on the jersey patch side of things. But but as far as a conference, on the conference side, this is why I'm kind of big on private equity. Get some sharks in here to help negotiate that shit up. Get that money coming in. Evil Badger, what is up, my friend? Appreciate you being here. Big 10 goes to 24 with UVA, Notre Dame, Kansas, Duke, Miami, Georgia Tech. You sure you want Kansas? Are you sure? Do you need in that illustrious Kansas City market? Do you need UVA and all its no viewership having self? I don't know if you need to do that, Evil Badger. Now, what I think, my speculation there, Badger, is that the Big Ten won't get to 24, but I think there's a possibility for 22. Notre Dame, we agree with that. Miami, we agree with that. Don't agree with any of the other stuff. Florida State, Clemson, 4. I know they're dirty non-AAU having schools, but they play a lot of football and a lot of people watch them. And they provide some premium matchups that would be pretty damn nice for Amazon coming on in to the Big Ten and putting hundreds of millions of dollars in the coffers of the conference. I don't think Amazon's going to get excited about Duke or Virginia or Kansas. So, we're pretty close to, we're pretty close there, Evil Badger. We're pretty close. I just don't know if I care if Wisconsin plays Virginia. But if Wisconsin's going to play Clemson, I might give that a gander. Play Florida State. Imagine, Evil Badger. You got the Seminoles coming on into your house in the middle of November, around Thanksgiving time. That would be funny. I would like to see that, is all I'm saying. But I appreciate you, Evil Badger. See, John, just pop it in. So we doing here Bible studies. I mean, we can talk about a little bit of everything. That's all. John Dry, the Jews don't believe in Jesus. Well, they believe that. I think most Jews believe he existed. Most scientists, most most historians believe Jesus was a real person. Do they believe he was born of a virgin birth and died and was resurrected 3 days later? They don't. Mostly don't. I do, but I would say most Jews probably don't believe that either. Test subject. Just because the Big Ten is partners with NBC and CBS now doesn't mean they will be needed if they sign with a streaming partner. That means they can focus on just a couple of big games a week. Well, I don't know how in a hurry the Big Ten are to get rid of NBC and CBS. Keep in mind, who is the parent company of CBS? That would be Paramount. Who just bought Warner Brothers? That would be Paramount. So having a big kind of doing some big business with Paramount is a win. NBC, I mean, nothing wrong with NBC. Fox, what's wrong with Fox? Why would you want to get rid of any of those? Like I said, CBS has just become that much more attractive to be a partner with. I hear you. I understand what you're saying, but I think they want Amazon and who they already have. And in order to do that, they got to expand more. If they don't, then maybe they do kick NBC to the curb. But I don't know how that works if they're trying to get Notre Dame. Them and NBC have had a good partnership for a long time. This is some weird stuff, weird stuff like that. Trying to keep it simple. I'm a simple guy. Test subject. Salt of the earth. Here on Cruise. I appreciate that. Mr. K, not murdering is part of the Noahide laws. The Noah laws. As well as not stealing and committing adultery. It's in the Bible. Okay. I just don't know why it's called Noahide laws or that weird name. Who's his corner sports? Jesus is part of the Godhead, so he's the one idol we are to worship. Well said, no. I appreciate that, Coos. Appreciate that. Glad to know some people went to Sunday school around her. Evil Badger, can we talk about college football? Sorry about that. Sorry. It's not my fault. I didn't bring it up. Did not bring Mr. K got a numbskull off topic here. Yeah. Well, it happens. It's fine. All right. It's the last time. Last time. And then I'm going to have to just skip past some of these because I don't mind talking about the stuff. But, one of the commandments is honoring the Sabbath, which is Saturday. the day Jews go to, okay, synagogue, 98% of Christians go to church on Sundays. So better hope the 10 Commandments don't apply. Honoring the Sabbath, you change the day of the Sabbath. I don't know that God cares about that. I don't know. What day is Christmas on biblically? Good luck. Good luck. That's all I'm saying. I don't think, I mean, is Easter really when the first Easter? Is that the real date? We don't really know. We don't really know. We do the best we can. It's been 2,000 years, sir. So we do the best we can. You got to change a day a little bit. What's important is we're honoring God on that day, the Sabbath day. Christians see it as the Sabbath as a Sunday. I'm sure there's somebody out there that sees it as a Tuesday. You can't have tacos and religious studies on the same day. You can't do it. John Dry, true, I am a Texas Tech fan, but what about the tortillas? Y'all do waste a lot of good, perfectly good tortillas out there. But it's your thing. It's your thing. It's fine. We don't have a tortilla shortage. Chunk the suckers. I agree with Cody on some things, but lately he's went a little too far. Here's the thing, Coos. He doesn't give a shit about this conference, nor does he care about any other school in it, including West Virginia. He would just assume wipe his ass with Morgantown if he could. And I don't have any time for that. Dude, I'm a TCU fan, but I'm kind of all for one for all. That's what we all should be, on the same side, working together to get to a better place. Not this, well, I want to go about it on my own. Well, here's the problem with Cody Campbell's bullshit. Okay? Because right now, he's the big sugar daddy for Texas Tech. Y'all remember not too long ago, Oklahoma State had a big fat sugar daddy too. Probably way richer than Cody Campbell. I know he's responsible for all the wind farms we have here in Texas. He had a lot to do with that. T-Boone Pickens. That's his name. Pickens had a shit ton of money. What happened? Well, what happens with everybody? He caught a case of death. Now he did do a final big contribution, like $300-something million to the university upon his death. That was nice of him. Very nice of him. But now he's in a place where there's no need for money. So they, there goes that source. What happens to Oregon when Phil Knight goes bye? When he takes the dirt nap? Well, I don't know if anyone else in that family or around that company is going to give us two shits about the Oregon Ducks at that point. Now, they've done probably done enough to stay relevant and have other donors come on in and take some of that. But for a lot of these schools, they have that one, like Texas Tech. We don't know what they're going to be after Cody Campbell kicks the proverbial bucket one day or decides to become another Longhorn fan. Whatever. But yeah, that's my problem with Cody Campbell right now. And by the way, Evil Badger, thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you being a member for a whole damn month. Can't believe you stuck around. I am grateful. Comrade Cody wants power. Well, he does. He does. That's why he's like, in the universities, now a decision maker and a leader. It ain't just about, oh, here's some money. Hope you do well. I hope you do okay. I did okay. I hope you do okay. No. He's got to be right up in the bullshit, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Salt of the earth. I'm a Southwest Conference fan. Well, we still got a little bit of that flavor. But I'm a WCW fan as far as wrestling. That's been gone for a while too. But I do reminisce. So I guess I feel your pain a little bit there. Now that's interesting. That's interesting, Mr. K. Well, I hear you. But now Saturday is football day. You can't have the Sabbath on football day. Now, I understand there's the NFL. I understand. But the NFL has later start times. They do that for a reason. You go to church. Now, I've heard rumors of certain black churches that kind of have extended service hours. But for those damn dirty Catholics, kickoff, they're in their seat at home. The bucket of chicken. Buckshot Kid, the only way for Texas Tech to get into the P2 is if Texas and A&M leave for the Big Ten. Well, you know what? That's interesting, though. That's it. Because rumors innuendo, I've entertained the thought of I don't think Texas is going to do it. I don't think they're going to leave. If they wanted to go to the Big Ten, all they had to do was pick up the phone, just like the SEC. They could have got to the Big Ten. I think they like the geography of the SEC. I think they like. I think they feel more simpatico with the people in the SEC versus the kind of more elitist academic flavor of the Big Ten. Even though Texas is AAU, I don't know about A&M though. Are they AAU? They might be, or maybe not. I don't know. Hell, I don't know. But of the two, I think it would be A&M. But let's just say hypothetically A&M did leave. Would the SEC look for another Texas team? Could Texas Tech fill that bill? Ooh, could that happen? It could. Does the SEC do they need another Texas team? I don't know. They would need two. That's the thing. It'd be interesting. Like who would they replace A&M with? I mean, presumably no one would know until like 2030 what the dirty plans of A&M are, but could be Tech, could be. Could be Oklahoma State by then. Could it be TCU? Probably not. Probably not. Small private school. Incredibly expensive to go to. I don't know about that. I'm trying to think if there's another candidate. Well, I mean, if Georgia Tech keeps going the way they're going and they don't go to the Big Ten, maybe there's some interesting shit there, Bugshot Kid. Interesting stuff. Salt of the Earth Friday nights are for high schools. True. Or for, it's also for the WWE SmackDown. They don't seem to give two craps about what's going on in Texas on a Friday night. I kind of hear what you're saying. It's always been Friday. I mean, I played high school football in Texas. I get the deal. DVR. You can DVR the game. You can DVR SmackDown. You can DVR a lot of shit there, Salt of the Earth. A lot. You can go to we can all go to the Friday Night Lights and then DVR the freaking game. That's all I'm saying. I know you want to go to the Tech game and you want to go to the high school local game. I understand that. I understand that. You're torn. You're torn. It'll work out. It'll work out. It was best for the Big 12. That includes Texas Tech. But understand, regardless, Fridays are a thing. They're a thing in the Big 10, they're a thing in the Big 12. They're going to be a thing in the SEC. Any kind of Super League, Friday nights. That's going to be part of media rights deals for now on. Because Friday nights are successful. They want to make money on a Friday night. There's more money in college football than high school football on TV. It's going to happen. I'm sorry. That's just, I got to deal in the realities. I can't say, I don't like it because of the way back. No, it's just, we got to deal with the realities, sir. That's the only thing. John Dry, Southwest Conference was the SEC before the Big 12. I'm going to be a smart ass to say the Southwestern Conference was the Southwestern Conference before the Big 12. Southeastern Conference is still the Southeastern Conference before or after the Big 12. Too late for that, salt of the earth. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Coos. Little late. Little late. I'm an old timer. We're all hell. Look, I got plenty of gray here. We're all old timers. I hear what you're saying. But as I said, that toothpaste has done shot out the damn tube. It's on the beach. It's drying out. There's nothing we can do. Buy a new tube? Probably not. Going to be interviewed on another podcast in a week or two in Hutchinson County up here in the Texas Panhandle. Well, that's cool, John Dry. Hope you have fun with that. Everybody loves Coos. Everybody loves Coos. A real channel. A growing channel. Where are you at, Coos? Like around, it's got to be well over 10,000 subs you got by now. Buckshot Kid, I think the 4 former Pac schools would do flag football, and it might look good for, say, joining one of the Big 2. It won't have anything to do with the Big 2. Because why isn't it the NFL and the Big 10 women's college, flag football? Why isn't it NFL and the SEC? That's because they're not interested right now. They're hyper focused on their BS. Not that the Big 12 isn't focused, all right, but we got to do things that the Big 10 and the SEC they'll leave for later if they ever get around to doing it. We got to look at those things that no one else is looking at. We got to think outside the box. We got to do all that shit. Probably junior high footballs for the women. Yeah, that's good call there. Here's the thing. We can't blame Jews for, because here's the main thing. I keep saying the last thing. This is the last thing. Then the Jews didn't kill Jesus. Humans did. That's the lesson. So blaming the Jews, no. All the times the Jews screwed up in the Old Testament when they got freed from slavery. Moses let them out. Yeah, that's right. Moses let them out. Then went up to the mountain, got the tablets, came down to tablets, and everyone's worshiping a stupid golden calf, and he breaks the tab over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. The Jewish people fell short. It's kind of a metaphor for all of humanity. We all fall short. So essentially, we are all responsible with our doubt, with our hate for killing Jesus. It ain't one ethnic group. It's everybody. Jews are kind of used as the example for everybody. John Dry. What about the Oklahoma State QR code on the helmet? Well, you got to do something up there. It's been a rough couple of years. John Dry, Duke, NC, North Carolina, NC State, Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Louisville to the Big 12. Sounds good to me. And you know what? That's more likely to happen than either one of the Big Two. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. 24 is the floor for the Big 12. We are getting past an hour. All right, I'm going to run through these comments. I got to take my butt out of here. The Big Ten wants everyone except ESPN. The Big Ten's going to, or ESPN will have to come up with a shit ton of money that they don't want to apparently come up with. Yes, sir. And by the way, thank you for being here. I just hope Big 12 teams can get good partners and not get left behind, dismantled like the Pac-12 and the ACC. Nah, we've already kind of been through that fight, and came out stronger. So I don't think we got to worry about that. We just got to have everyone on board, Texas Tech, Cody Campbell, because it's not just you. It ain't all just about you. It's about everybody. Test subject. If the Big Ten signs with Amazon, do you think Amazon will be okay with a rival streaming service also streaming games? Amazon isn't going to give billions to have to share. Isn't going to give billions to have to share with others. No, that's more like Apple. Apple had that mindset when it came to the Pac. Here's the thing right now. You can go to Amazon.com and you can get Paramount Plus through Amazon right now. They have no problem doing business. They just don't. Because they want a full slate of games that you can only see on Amazon. Paramount's going to do its thing. They ain't threatened by Paramount. Amazon can buy and sell Paramount, Skydance over and over again. Amazon's a freaking juggernaut. They're not worried about Paramount. They're not. John Dry, I agree we should work together. Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. And $1 to the mullet. They already met with Texas Tech in case A&M left a few years ago. All right. I haven't heard about anything seriously about A&M ever leaving, but no need to DVR when you can watch football on your phone at a football game. Well, there is that. Well, I don't want to watch it on my phone. Well, then stream it later. You can go to ESPN Plus and watch all the games that have already happened. All the games that have already happened. Dry True? Uh-oh. Is this the last comment? Clint Moses, I think you're the last comment. The Big 12 will rise again. We're already up. We're just trying to use a pump. Trying to get this sucker a little bigger, a little bit longer, get a little more money, a little more staying power, a little more satisfaction for you. That's all we're trying to do here. We are there. See, John, sounded like old Mr. Flugar was hinting that Cody Campbell is causing this big stink with your mark because he's looking to run for office, being controversial, get his name in the news cycle. There's some of that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm telling you, but right now in Texas, and you call it a purple state all you want. It's pretty damn red. I don't see anybody dethroning this governor, Abbott, anytime soon. Cody Campbell, they're not, here's the thing, they're not going to primary him. And you can go ahead and try. I think it's been tried. He will just crotch stomp the shit out of Cody Campbell. Abbott has actually got receipts for the things he's done. He's been a pretty damn good governor. I don't agree with everything, but I'm not going to agree with everything anybody ever does. But he's been a pretty damn good governor. And even though I didn't like George W. Bush, but he was a pretty damn good governor. Presidency? Didn't like a 20-year war. But that's a whole nother outside the college football zeitgeist there. Good luck, Arizona, in the big dance. Damn it, Kenny Evans. Where was that comment a long time ago? Because, it freaked me out. I did a whole video, going into the, it's right before the, when we got to 32, right? We still had 3 teams active. We had Arizona, we had Houston, we had Iowa State. I'm like, hey, we could possibly get 3 to the Sweet 16. That'd be great. Iowa State, Houston blows it. It's like, thank God, thank sweet Lord for Arizona. They've been worth the money. And this year, nasty. See, what a big deal the Big 12 is in basketball. It's like every year, Final Fours, baby. If we don't win it all, at least in the Final Four. The SEC can't say that, can they? Can the SEC say that? Can they say it? They got all these teams in this bitch, and they're all gone. Oh, I know you won one last year. I know you did. Florida, good job. You didn't make it. You got beat early. You got beat early. All these damn teams in the SEC, they got there. What's it, 10 of them? Was it like 10 of them? More than the Big 12, more than the Big 10. Gone. The ACC. Oh, God, gift to athletics. No representation in the Final Four. Duke keeps trying. They're the ones pumping life into that thing. UNC, first week, every year, dead, gone. Everybody else, dead, gone. Duke is like trying. They're trying to keep the ACC afloat in basketball. They can't do it all themselves. Arizona, calling it now. Future champs. They're going to level everybody's ass. They're going to hand it to them. Wildcats. I agree with everything except for the Noah Hyde. I'm going to look that up because I don't. Crown has good teams too. Go West Virginia over Stanford. Good with that. Buckshot Kid. SEC is just means more teams to lose. Especially this year. UVA is overrated in basketball. One Final Four in the past 40 years. Well, that's about as many as San Diego State, isn't it? Isn't it? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. And I'll see you next week. I'll see you in the next video. All that good shit. Anyway, I thank you so much for being here, guys. And thanks again to Evil Badger. Great freaking member. Get you a membership. They're not free, but they're not expensive. You get a shit ton. You might even get a little extra girth on that length. You never know. Anyway. Thank you. I'll be back with more crap later. Bye.